Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I'm happy and grateful for you. I don't take days for granted. I don't take you for granted. I understand that somewhere, someone is not afforded an opportunity to right their wrong. And every day that we are breathing, we have breath in our body, we have that opportunity. So I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. Of course, I come on here to remind you that you are healthy, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you have been created from greatness, okay? We are not perfect creatures in this humanism, but we're striving for perfection through this journey because that's how we were created, okay? But there is not an expectation for you to be perfect. It is an expectation for you to continue, to walk out your purpose, all right? So it's Meal Prep Monday, and you know the angle, the revelation that I've received from Jehovah God is really just to keep us in a posture and in a space where we are able to recognize some of the things or the triggers or the distractions that stop us from fulfilling our purpose, fulfilling our vision, our New Year's resolution, whatever you want to call it, or however you call it at the beginning of the year. Usually by this point, because we're about to go into May, people who had that fire in January, it has not, if not depleted, it is definitely dwindled out. So we are intentional just to go through the process and the mindset set and the steps to just continue to stay focused, okay? And so, of course, last week I told you what has really, where I'm at and what I'm kind of going through right now is truly understanding the difference between my true self versus my false self. And who is your true self? You were chosen before earth was created by Jehovah God. And I was speaking last week about angels and man, when I read that, because like I said, personal growth and self-development is necessary. It's great to do, okay? But even with that, your number one book, listen, the Bible, that's the book for me, okay? So there are different authors that take those things that are in that book and they're able to communicate it with us. I love it the way my sister-in-law told me yesterday, because, she and I, there's someone in my life, we pretty much do the same thing, but she was able to just remind me, like, we may do the same things, but the way we communicate it is different. And so everyone has their pocket, all right? With personal growth and self-development, everything comes from the word of God, okay? Because Jehovah God is the creator, all right? We're supernatural in this natural space. And the more that we're able to grasp that, the more that we're able to keep things in priority and perspective in the right way, that we can walk out our predestined and preordained footsteps, okay? This is what it is, all right? No matter what we go through and no matter the challenges that we face, nothing happens by chance or surprise to Jehovah God, just to us. So even when we're kind of thrown off, we have to understand that this was already a predestined day. There's always a ram in the bush. There's always a way of escape. There's always a way out. But we've got to condition our heart and our mind, okay? Our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, that it's never what we go through, it's how we choose to get through it. So there's a process in everything that we do, and that process is what we need as we're striving for perfection, all right? So in the journey, we have to also understand that in that processing, there is a true self, because we're spirit with a soul wrapped in this flesh. And the truth of who you are You're deeply loved by Jehovah God. God chose you before he created the earth. He chose you. See, studying about the angels took me to another realm, all right? Because we were chosen before he even created the foundation of this earth. He chose you. He chose me. My purpose was chosen. Then it was activated on the cross. I say that all the time. Your purpose was activated over 2,000 years ago. And now, present day, present today, we are here for such a time as this, okay? So no matter what's going on in this world that is circling, it's a fixed fight. We've already won. We just got to learn how to maneuver where we are to continue to be who we are unapologetically. So you got to understand that you were chosen before earth was created. You have to understand that you are purpose. You are not looking for purpose. These are your true identities, okay? These are your true identities because you're deeply loved by Jehovah God. You have to understand this. So you're not looking for purpose. You are purpose. Your life is purpose. There is a purpose for me here on this journey and on this earth right now. There's a purpose for you here on this journey and this earth right now. Why do you think that you have the gifts, the visions, the thoughts, the creativity? It's only for you. I don't care if 100 people are doing it. No one can do it like you can. All right? This is your true self. Okay? You got to understand too that in this, that no matter what battle comes, you can only be, the only place a battle can happen is in your conscious mind. All right? That's why the battlefield is your mind, period. Okay? There is no activation. There is no authority. There is no strength until you begin to speak it out. Well, Nicole, that ain't true because this happened and that happened. Okay, those are situations. Situations come and go. But even with the situations, when you are right-minded, when you are in understanding that your spirit, you're supernatural in this natural space, we will stop letting the natural things knock us off of who we really are and whose we really are. Okay? Because Holy Spirit was left to lead, guide, and direct us. But now, you know, I think I'm big, bad, and buff in the spirit. Because now that I understand that a guardian angel is left for me, and there's a host of angels that surround me as long as I fear the Lord, shoot, y'all can't tell me nothing. And the angels have swords and will fight my battles when I learn to engage them, when I learn to activate them. See, getting back to a space of understanding your true self will stop trying to figure things out in our false self, no matter what happens. So yes, we deal with the things naturally, but there's got to come a point in a time where we get up and we spend time with the one who created us so that we can get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the next step. Sometimes we don't even need the solution. We just need the next step, okay? When things are going on that I don't understand, I'm not trying to figure it out and I'm not trying to fix it. I just need to know what's the next step. And sometimes the step is just to be still. Be still. Nicole, be still. Just sit back. Hold tight, girl. Just hold on. That may be the next step. Okay? But we got to start understanding our true self. Okay? Because if not, we'll keep operating in our false self. What's your false self? It's the soul of you that is controlled by the flesh of you. Okay? We're spirit with a soul wrapped in this flesh. Okay? And if we're spending more time feeding our flesh, we'll spend more time making natural decisions, answers, direction, however you want to say it. Okay? Because in your soul, so your spirit is your spirit, like I said last week. Your spirit being, your spirit was chosen before the earth was created. Okay? It was activated in your soul to walk it out. and then you came in your flesh right now. You're here. All right. In your soul, everything that has happened to us is where it's stored. It's where it's stored. That's where the enemy can begin to play with your mind based off of the trauma, based off of the situations, based off of every incident that's stored in the Rolodex of your soul. This is why it's so important for us to feed from our spirit, not from our flesh. And the only way we can continue to have our soul grow and rise in the closer to the spirit than the flesh, we got to keep feeding it from the spirit. So these Meal Prep Monday calls, it's a natural conversation, but we're feeding our soul from the angle of our spirit. I don't have to sit here and Bible beat. I don't have to sit here. Hey, listen, look, I'm reading the Bible. I'm getting the Bible. I'm getting the seed in me, and I'm giving it to you. So it's being fed from the spirit. This is why I tell you all the time, who are you around? What are they feeding you? We got to learn how to guard our five senses so that the sixth sense, SIXTH, the spirit sense will be the biggest one and will be able to cover. Okay. All right. So how do we keep walking in our true self? You got to feed yourself. Okay. You got to feed yourself. This is why I keep telling y'all, go back. All right. Look at the steps and understand the triggers that we have in our path. They're there because they're there. But when we don't know how to deal with them, they're here from the natural side to hurt us, not to build us. Okay. You got to understand the prince of the air. He doesn't want you successful. He doesn't want you to believe the affirmation. He don't even want you to believe me. Okay. He doesn't want you to believe that you can win and you can conquer. But let me tell you something. And this revelation was real good for me. When I realized that the enemy doesn't come with nothing new, the game never changes, just the players. Okay. So if what you wrestle with is a lying tongue, he just gonna have you lying somewhere else about something else. Okay. Period. Because he wants to kill, steal, and destroy you all the time. All right. He wants you to believe your true self is not deeply loved. Your true self is not already purposed. Your true self is not chosen. Your true self is not above and not beneath. He wants you to believe those things. So every little mess up or every little mistake that we may have made, he takes the truth and he perverts or taints it. Okay? He takes the truth and he perverts or taints it. So we got to get to a place where we're willing to face our own fears. Okay? In order for you to stay in your true self, you got to start tearing your false self down. It don't feel good. It don't look good sometimes. Okay? Facing the truth about things that you may have done or decided to do, it get real, it get real ugly sometimes. But at the end of the day, if I can right my wrongs, I'm okay with looking at it. Okay? When we understand that in order for us to prosper and grow, in order for us to really move forward, we got to be willing to look at ourselves. You got to be willing to deal with the plank that's in your eye and not the speck with the one that's next to you. Okay? If you are the type of person that in every situation it's always someone else's fault, you got to let go of that victim spirit. It's a spirit. If you're always the victim, you can't be victorious. All right? If it's always someone else's fault, then that means you don't do nothing wrong. Not cool. Okay? Because in that mindset, you'll never grow. You'll never grow. Your growth is dependent on the roots you choose to pluck and pull out of you. Okay? I can't go and pull a root out of Kadeja and think I'm going to grow from it. No, I can help beautify her land. Think of a garden. I can go help her garden her land. I can go help with the weed pulling to beautify her land, her purpose, her life, but I can't do it for her. And she just be sitting on dad's rocking chair chilling. The weeds are gonna come back because she knows her land best. And I don't care how transparent you are, all of us hold stuff. All of us hold stuff. It's those deep embedded things that need to come up from the root, because it's the residue of those things that the enemy tries to use to keep you in your false self. Okay? So we got to understand, and we got to recognize these things, and we got to start dealing with them. So what is false self? Places of trauma. What is false self? Listen, false self is anything that you're not willing to face. How about that? In a nutshell, anything that you're not willing to deal with you, you got to understand that there is something bigger than you that will take that thing and will try to keep you stuck, bound, chained up, locked up, not, have you ever felt like you can only get so far, and then once you get to that place, it's like you just fall back. You can't get past this certain level. You trying to save $100,000. Every time you get to 20,000, something happens, and then you go spend it and you starting over. Okay. Are you capable of saving 100,000? Absolutely. Whatever structure and discipline you had in place to get to the 20,000, you continue it in spite of situations that come and go. Well, I don't have any food. Okay. I'm not saying don't take it. Well, yes, I am. When you're structured and disciplined, you won't pull from what's already there. You'll find another means. You'll learn how to call things from the north, the south, the east, and the west. It really does work. For my traders, how many of y'all that made 10 cents growing to $100? I can't remember what Kadeja had one time, but I just know that girl literally, like, she was double digits. The $30 may be nice. And she had either 500 or 5, I think it was 5,000. I'm pretty sure she went from 2 digits to 4. If I ain't telling the truth, I'll correct myself. I'll call her after this call. But my point is, tools and resources are they're there. All right. We got to learn how to get out the box. We have to learn how to tap into our true self if we believe that there's always a way of escape and a way out. So for every falsity, what else? Negative words that have been spoken over you, and you begin to believe them. I can never save. My mother told me I would never have money, and I have believed it until I was 50 years old. Literally, maybe 45, I start like, maybe not. Then, 48, I might start, by faith walking into it. Then, when everything seems like dry land, listen, I don't care what my bank account say. It doesn't matter to me, because I know that my seed is blessed. All right. I know that my seed is prosperous. I know that as long as I continue to keep looking up, as long as I continue to keep my glass half full, never half empty, the wealth that I, by faith, believe was spoke over me prophetically, it will manifest, prosper, and grow. It will be seen naturally because Jehovah God says so. See, those are the false things in us. When we start to believe the negative, when we start to believe the things that we can't do, you can do all things through Christ. Okay? Because that's who strengthens you. All right? This is why you have to learn to affirm yourself. And I've told you before, if you're not one who does affirmations or you don't know where to get them, take every thought that comes into your mind negative, change it to a positive. There's your affirmations. All right? Because you don't want to start saying stuff that don't apply to you. Get some strong ones. Okay? I'm so happy and grateful now. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am prosperous. That is 3 affirmations right now. And that umbrella is so big, you begin to it's not normalized, make it specific to you, you know. So if it's not healthy, or instead of I'm so happy and grateful now that I am healthy, what are you healthy with? I'm so happy and grateful now that my body is fully healed. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm set free and delivered. I'm so happy and grateful now that there's nothing that can play with my mind. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm the head and not the tail. I'm so happy and grateful now that I do love, that I am love, and that I give love. Okay? I'm so happy and grateful now. Anything that the enemy tries to come and tell you you're not, you got to start speaking to yourself as you are. And you will get in confidence. That don't mean that your bank account changed, but let me tell you something changed inside of you, and you'll begin to look at money different. You'll begin to look at things different. Opportunities will start coming to you that weren't coming before. Doors will open that used to be shut because now you're ready to walk through them. You're ready to walk out your process. Don't be so quick to abort your processes. Don't be so quick to always look for microwave fixes. You got to learn to be still. You got to learn to be still. Okay? Don't be in a rush. Because if you're not processed correctly in the right timing, you'll lose it or you won't appreciate it. Okay? One or the other, especially when it comes to wealth, we'll lose it. Because to be honest with you, until you learn to make your money make money, it's hard to stay in a wealthy place because wealthy people learn to make their money make money. Okay? And if we can never get to a place where we're willing to put something away to make it, to help it grow, if we always trying to do the quick, the crypto, the this and that, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work, all right? So Meal Prep Monday, it's like, what is this? Jacinta said 25 to 5,000. Kadeja said that, or you know that? That's what she said. Okay. Yeah. So that's, and I'm saying this because tools are there. See, when we can start walking in our true self, that'll be believable. That's believable because it happened. So even for Kadeja, if her money get funny, and when it does, I'll tell Kadeja, I'll be like, Kadeja, go back to the mindset that you were at when that happened. What were you doing there? Where was your mind? How were you? When you were trading, what posture were you in? Were you stressed and trying to grab the money, or were you calm? Were you peaceful? Were you confident in yourself? Kadeja will put her face on and she'll feel good, and she'll go to a place where she can chillax, and then she'll boom, 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 boom. And I use this as an example because that came from her true self, not her false self, not the negativity that was spoken over her, not even the negative thoughts that she may self-sabotage her with, all right? It didn't come from none of that. It came from tapping into who you truly are, all right? That you're chosen, that your purpose has already been activated, and that your steps are predestined. You're deeply loved by God. So he's already made the path. He's already sent angels before you. And on top of that, you got your guardian with you at all times. So it's already there. So when things start happening and they start doing like this, man, you got to get to a place where you're just still and you go back to your true self. All right. Well, I don't feel love because if I was loved, then why this happened? Listen, things happen because you are loved. Because sometimes things happen just to keep us in a certain space. It messed me up when I read that sometimes everything ain't the enemy. Sometimes your angels mess with you to keep you in a place of salvation, to keep you in a place of seeking God, to keep you in a place where you just won't go all the way left. It's not always the enemy. All right. It's not always the enemy. Okay. Just because something don't feel good. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Some things don't feel good because you too fleshly. You satisfying your flesh too much. And you're supernatural in a natural space. So listen, sin feel good, flesh, all that feel good. All right. But I eat too much. I need to still get this weight off of me. And I was doing it, y'all, because I'm the type, listen, I'll put on the little waist trainer and all that, but at the end of the day, I think it's fake. It's just me personally. I don't like to be uncomfortable. So I'm like, I put it on to kind of get my body to look a certain way. But then at the end of the day, if I ain't gonna stop eating, if I ain't gonna stop feeding my flesh, that thing gonna start burning my skin. Y'all know how it is. You get too big, that thing over there, you're itching and your skin itching and you scratching because the thing all tight. That's not real to me, okay? I don't want to look like something that I'm not. But the truth of the matter is, if I'm feeding my flesh, then what I'm trying to portray is not true. It's an illusion, okay? That's why you got to stay in your true self, because your false self, and trust me, when I'm eating the powdered donuts, it tastes good, stomach happy, all of that, okay? But at the end of the day, what does the enemy want? He want to kill, steal, and destroy you. So he let you sit there and he let you feel good. He let it feel good. He let you eat the whole plate. And then when it's time to have the mud butt, where he at then? Because when you buckled over in fetal position because your stomach tore up, where he at? Okay? That was so nasty. But y'all get the point that I'm trying to make, okay? The false self, when you feed your flesh, when you feed your natural, when you feed yourself, I promise you there's a consequence you're going to pay at the end. All right? So that little quick fix, feel good for a couple minutes, it ain't worth what you just lost and what you have to pay back. But when you're in your true self, all right, that's where the overflow is. That's where there's nothing but greatness and great things for you to pour out and to receive. The more that you are in it, the more that you walk in it, the more that you die to yourself, the more it's elevated. Because what happens is, I'm going to say this is 10:29 and I'm going to go. What happens is, as you do that in your true self, you realize that Jehovah God understands that he can trust you more. As he can trust you, you get what is promised to you, and that's land and territory. So the more you trust someone, even when you think of your friendships, the more you trust them, the more you share with them. All right. The more you give them. It's the same thing. When we are walking in our true self, he can trust us with more. Oh, okay, I'm going to use her. Her hands are willing. So let me give her $1 million because I know she'll do right by it. She'll sow back into kingdom. She'll build my kingdom. And with me building my kingdom, with her building my kingdom, I will build her land. I will answer her prayers. I will keep my hand on her children. I will make sure that they look upon her and call her blessed. Woo! Lord, my God, it's 10:30. Listen, Meal Prep Monday. It's Meal Prep Monday. I want you to understand that you can conquer all battles in your mind. No devil in hell can stop what you've been chosen for, what you've been purposed for, and what's been activated in you. You got to get to a place where you stay in the truth of you. You are supernatural in this natural space, and there is a remnant of people who are assigned to you that will continue to help you. Continue to help you. Continue to beat that flesh. Continue to let you rise up. Continue to encourage you as you pick up your cross and walk. All right? So, Meal Prep Monday. Man, listen, stay humble, stay focused, stay positive. Don't let the cares of this world knock you off your game. And understand that when it start coming back to back, it's because you're doing something right. Everything ain't because it's all wrong in your life. All right? You doing something right. Because if you wasn't being attacked, it wouldn't be if you wasn't doing something right, it'd be no reason for attacks. And understand that some of it comes from a good place because you got to stop doing you. All right? So I am Nicole D. Jones, and I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.